Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is January 3rd, 2023. We had a listener question around how to leverage yfinance API to do some analysis on stocks. That's exactly what we'll look at today. Today we'll look at how to leverage yfinance API and do some analysis by using Python API. So for some of my listeners, this is a little bit different topic. I thought it's interesting because some of you had a question. So in this, we'll jump in. You don't need to have knowledge about Python too much, but you can get great information using Python APIs. Especially today, we will look at yfinance. In the future sessions, I can also talk about polygon.io, which is one of my favorite API to get the stock information. So with that, let's jump in and get started. So you might wonder what I'm using to write this Python code. I'm using Jupyterlab. So if you don't have Jupyterlab, it's very easy to install. So you can go in here and look, there's a Jupyter website here, jupyter.org. It's very easy to install. You can go into your I'm using a MacBook Pro here. You could go into MacBook or Windows and just pip install Jupyterlab. Very easy. Once you install it, you can just say Jupyter-lab. It will open up a Jupyter notebook or a Jupyterlab application. So you can start writing the code using Python very easily. Very easy install. I highly recommend it, especially for the folks who want to do some data science type work. And if even though you're not a data scientist, it's great to really look at some of the stock information using Python. You can do very good research, and it's always good to have some curiosity. So with that, let's jump in. And next, if you don't have pandas, you can also pip install pandas. As you can see here, with Jupyter itself, you can install the Python, but you can also install pandas separately. If you don't have pandas, I recommend using pandas. You can also pip install pandas. As you can see, there's a great information in this website. And next, we'll jump into the topic of discussion today, which is how to use yfinance API to do some stock research. I will exactly go into that a little more. Look, there is a great website, here. It's called yfinance, as you can see here. So you can log into, yfinance website, just by Googling. It's a, great website, and it's got good information about how to use their APIs. As you can see here, it's got, pretty simple API. Anybody can use this very easily. We'll go into those in a little more detail. So we'll jump in here now and go to Jupyterlab here and start, making some sense out of this yfinance API and go from there. So when you want to do some Python or Python programming, it's always good to import some essential libraries. What we'll do is we'll import few essential libraries and start using them. So we'll start making some comments here so we know what we are importing. So we'll import few things here and go from there. Look, I'm just copying few of these libraries here. So I made a comment here. First, we're importing pandas. Pandas will help you to analyze the data using the data frames. The benefit of pandas is it can upload or it can analyze large amount of data. Excel may not handle large amount of data, but pandas can do or analyze large amount of data. That's why I love pandas. And yfinance, we want to import yfinance. Yfinance is a great API here. You could, you could really import yfinance and get rich APIs from yfinance. One thing I recommend is really, in past there was a pandas data reader, and now it's no longer available. So if you saw some YouTube video saying, hey, pandas data reader, you don't need to worry about it. It's no longer available. Instead, just use the regular APIs that we'll talk about today. And one note here, this is really for the folks who want to do some more digging. I would not recommend using yfinance API if you are developing a trading application, because sometimes it's dependent on the Yahoo Finance data, so it's not as reliable to create a trading application. If you are planning to create a trading application, I highly recommend polygon.io. We'll go into the details of Polygon probably in a future session if folks are interested. All right, so what we've done now is we imported pandas to analyze the data frame, and we also imported Yahoo Finance or yfinance API, so that way we can do some more research and use these yfinance APIs we saw earlier. All right, let me go and run here. You could click on this arrow here. It will just run these. It's a pretty quick run, as you can see here. And if you don't have these things, you can just pip install, very easy. You can just pip install those and take it from there. All right, so next is let's jump in here and look at some basic information here. So we'll look at maybe one symbol here. Let's look at Microsoft as an example. So let's look at single stock information here. Look, we got Microsoft here. We'll go into Microsoft and see what we can make out of it and go from there. So what I will do is I'll just quickly type in here. What we're doing is we are creating a variable here called MSFT, and we're getting information from Yahoo Finance or yfinance for Microsoft. So this, what we have in the single quote here, MSFT, this is a ticker symbol. Now we are looking at a single ticker symbol. So this can be uppercase or lowercase, does not matter. So you can just run this. It will basically have the information about Microsoft in MSFT variable. So once you have this here, you can do a couple things here. If you already know pandas and Python slightly, it's you can get some more information here. What we'll do is really we'll try to see what type of variable is MSFT, what object is it. So we can just go in here and type MSFT here and just go here. So it tells you it's a yfinance ticker. Basically you're getting information about a single ticker. That's what it's telling you. So once you know this here, you can also do a couple more things here. Now you know the type. You can look at a few more information here, and you can get more information. So what we'll do is really now we got this here, we'll just say msft.info here. All right, so now we are getting the information about Microsoft and printing. The moment you got the ticker, you can get all the information about the ticker here. Look, the moment you run this here, you get nice information here. Look, Microsoft has got a lot of information. Look, there is a zip, sector, full-time employees, and you can see a lot of rich information here. It's a great set of information here. And of course, most of you will not be needing all this information, but it's there if you want to use them. It's a great place here. You can do some more things with this information. So what we'll do is really, many times, you want to look at few information here and, analyze them. Some folks want to look at single ticker and do some analysis, or some folks want to look at multiple tickers and do some analysis. So what we'll do is really we'll try to just get some information about multiple tickers and see how to this is very hard to read. As you can see, a lot of information. We can try to get the information that we want for few tickers and take it from there. All right, so with that, let's jump in here, and as you can see here, if I say type, type, it will tell you what type of object it is, so you get some information on the object type it is. Look, it's a dictionary here. Dictionary is not very conducive for the folks who want to download into Excel spreadsheet or CSV, or comma separated file. So we'll take that back here instead of let's just get msft.info here, so you know what it is. All right, so you can also do a length here. You can do a len and look at how many elements are there. Look, we got 155 elements here. It's a rich set of elements here. You want to know about Microsoft, you get a lot of great information here. So we'll go back to our normal thing here, msft.info here. You can see the rich set of information with the Microsoft here. The hard thing about this is really it's very hard to read. Many of you will be wondering, how do I make use of this? It's very hard to make use of this information. So with that, what we'll do is we'll look at how to make use of it. Most importantly, many of you want to look at multiple stock information, not just one stock. We'll go into that a little bit here and see how to get multiple stock information. So look, for that we'll do one thing. We'll create a small ticker set here. Many of you are looking at many stocks here. For this, for this purposes here, we'll create a small, ticker set here. So I have a ticker set here. We got Apple, Google, Microsoft, Adobe, Lilly, and so on and so forth. Few of favorite stocks folks follow here. And I can also put in a Tesla here. I know many of you follow Tesla, Mr. Musk. So we can go from here. Look, we got a few set of stocks here. We can try to do some research on these stocks here. All right, so I could also do one thing here. I can start a small I could start a small program here to get the information about these stocks here. And my aim here is to get these stocks into a pandas, so you can do some analysis on these stocks. All right, so to do that, let's do one thing. Let's do a quick data set here. I want to collect the information about these stocks into a data set, which is a pandas data. So with that, let's jump in here and I'll create a small for loop here. So I'm saying, we got a lot of stickers here. For the stickers, I want to basically create a small for loop here and get the information. Look, I got a small for loop going on here. What I'm saying is for ticker in the ticker set. Now we got the ticker set here. We got a set of stocks, as you can see here. And for each of those, I want to get data, about the stock. As you can see, data equal to ticker.info. What I'm telling you is really I want to get the information about the stock into this into a data. And then I'm also saying, I'm creating list here. So I'm saying, for the data, symbol, I want to basically get a lot of information. Absolutely, I don't want to get all these 155 columns here, but I'm very picky about what columns I want to get. So let's do one thing. Out of this 150 columns, let's get some columns that we are interested in. So what I will do is really, as you saw earlier here, we got all this information. I will take a subset of this information here. All right, so for my subset here, I will basically go with the few things here. I'll copy it here so you can see them. We'll go with a small subset here. All right, so what I will do is I will go with this subset here. Let's go down here. Obviously, we want the symbol, which is very important. It's a stock symbol, and we'll copy a few more things here. All right, look, what you've done is really, I don't want all these 150 attributes. Instead, I want stock symbol. I want, current price, volume, short name, market cap, as you can see here, trailing EPS, which is earnings per share. I want the gross margin, profit margin, so on and so forth, as you can see here. If you're interested, I can copy this code in a GitHub, so you can take it from there and play play along. It's very easy to play along with this. All right, so we got some rich set of information here about this here. And what we could do is really, many times, if I run this, let's quickly run this here and see if there is any error and go from there. Look, there is no error here. So now we got all this information here. So I could, print this data set and see what will come up here. So I will say data set here. Look, we got, bunch of information here. So what we'll do is we'll do some more some more research on this here data set. Actually, let's do data set df here. That's a data frame, and let's print the data frame. Look, it's a very nice information here. Look, we got all this information in a nice pandas data frame right now. Look, we got symbol, current price, short name, and so on and so forth here. Even if we go scroll here, look, we got nice set of information here. And look, many of you want to look at what the short ratio. Look, we got short percent of float here. Look for last one here, which is let's see here, GameStop. Or this one right here, this is GameStop here. Look, there is a 20% short float here. So GameStop is heavily shorted stock, as you know here. All right, so we got some great information. We put all these things into the pandas data reader. By looking at this here, this small for loop here, you can see what's going on here for each of these tickers here. So here, ticker in ticker set, this is our ticker set. We are basically collecting the raw data list here. We don't want all the data, from this ticker information here. We want symbol, current price, volume, and so on and so forth. As you can see here, you can add more, more data elements to this list here if you want to see some more, because we got rich list, as you can see here. Maybe you want dividend yield, maybe you want something else, you can add it to the data just like this. You can add one more here. And we're also appending this into a pandas data frame. Look, what we're doing is, for each stock here, look, we got a bunch of stock here. For each stock, we're appending them to a pandas data frame. So that way you get one row per stock in the pandas data frame. So that way it's easy. The moment it's in a pandas data frame, you could do some more analysis. That's what is going on here. Basically, we're appending it to the pandas data list, and we are basically looping, couple times here, so that way each of these stock is in this data set. We're appending one after the other. So you got in the pandas data set, we got all these rows. And once you have the pandas data set here, we are basically saying, we are basically using it as a data frame here. Look, we got data frame, which is a data set. We are creating a data frame out of this data set here. So that way we can do some more analysis. Look, we got this here, and sometimes, folks will wonder, what, how do I make sense of this? Look at the market cap here. It's this humongous number here. Sometimes folks will get carried away. You can do some good analysis here. So what I will show you is really, how do you format this? We'll format maybe 2 or 3 columns here. Market cap, the free cash flow, maybe the total cash. You can follow along and do the same thing for the other columns here, just to get some idea here. All right, so what we'll do is we'll add one more here. You can just click on this plus sign here. I will add one more cell here. So what we'll do is we'll do some formatting. I will copy, some formatting here. I will explain this slightly. You can understand what the formatting all about. So what we're doing is really, we have market cap here. Look, we got market cap, big number here. What we're really doing is, round the market cap in millions. Look, it's divided by millions, and add a mm, so that way it's in millions. And we are doing the same thing for for the free cash flow here. We are converting to millions, and we also converting the total cash into millions also. That's what we're doing here. You can just run this here. It will just act on the data frame, which is our data frame df, and convert these numbers into millions, and it will have it in these list items. So now now we can print our data frame df again and see what's going on here. I'll just copy this here, and let's do one thing. Let's create one more data frame here, so we can actually one more cell here and just print data frame df. All right, look, now we are, let's see here. Okay, so now there is no change, as you can see here, because we are just printing the data frame. We got to get these information here, these new columns. So what I will do is I will just create a data frame with the columns that we want. Instead of printing the data frame just like before here, I want the data frame with these three columns also, replacing the original columns, which is market cap, free cash flow, and total cash. What I'll do is I'll quickly copy this here. Look, we have all these data elements here. Look what I'm doing. I'm changing the market cap to market cap millions, which is same as this one here. We are calculating using this formatting here. And also look, free cash flow, I'm changing it to free cash flow millions. And also probably the total cash flow also I'm changing it here. So whatever we calculated here with this formatting, I want to use them here. That's what's going on here. So I could just run this here. The moment I run this here, look, now we got our millions here, market cap in millions. And you can see here MM, and same story, the free cash flow here, millions, and total cash also in millions. You can do it for other information also here. So that way it's easy to use here. All right, so that's about getting these multiple stock symbols. And if you like this here, you can write this to a Excel file or a CSV file here. So what we'll do is we'll create one more data frame here. And the moment it's in the panda data frame, now we got here data frame here, you can write it into Excel spreadsheet here. All right, let's go here and write this into Excel spreadsheet. I will create one more frame, one more cell here, and we can say let's try to write into Excel spreadsheet. All right, so I will copy one of the folder here, so we can write into one of my folder. I will also show the file so you can see the file also here. All right, so we got here applications, Python download. I will say Yahoo Finance, multiple tickers. All right, so we are writing into a Excel spreadsheet here. What I will do is also I will write into a CSV file also, so you can use this for your analysis. All right, so we'll say CSV here. So we have a CSV file, and we got a Excel spreadsheet here. I will say, yeah, let's quickly go ahead and let's say here XLS. All right, let's go and run this. So we'll save this into those information here. I will just close this. I don't have a close here. Let's close these two here and go from there. All right, so let's see what's going on here. We got two, oh, this one is to CSV here. All right, so we got two files created here. So what I can do is now is I can take you to my folder here, and we can look at these files. We just added few columns here, few tickers here. You could add more tickers, maybe say some more tickers, very easy. So let's go in here to my folder here. I'll bring it back right here, and let's go into my Python folder. Look, we got two files created here. We got a CSV file. I can open the CSV file here, and let me bring it back. Look, in the CSV file, we got our symbols that we talked about, and we got all this great information. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. we got symbol, stock price, short name, market cap, as you can see here. And some of these things you can just make it bigger and go from there. There you go, you got rich set of information here in the CSV file. And if you want, you could do some formatting as usual and go from there. Look, we got some of these number columns here. You could just convert them into number. And it will show big information as you see here. You can make a comma. You know the drill here. The moment it's in a spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet, you can do a lot of things. So this is our CSV file here, and we'll close this and we'll open our XLS file here. Let's say don't save and look at the XLS here. Now we got our Excel spreadsheet here, and look, we got a rich set of information. All right, so we got our Excel file. Look, we got Excel file with all this great information here. You could, the moment you have it in the Excel file, you can do more analysis. So that's about how to download multiple tickers into Excel spreadsheet. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll go back here, and now we'll try to get some historic information about the stock. Look, many times you want to do some historic analysis about the stock and try to see how to make some sense out of it. There are a lot of applications for this. Many times I love to look at, hey, how did Microsoft do in 2022 and how did it do in 2020? Look at monthly performance or a weekly performance or a yearly performance. For such things, it's a great place to get such information is yfinance. Let's look at that in a little more detail and see how to make sense out of it. All right, so I will copy a few things we can try to explore together and make sense out of it. All right, so to get the historic information, I will copy a few things here. Look, we can use same thing like we did before. We got Microsoft as a variable here, and then yf dot ticker MSFT. We are getting the information about Microsoft here. And look, history perspective, we are basically getting Microsoft's history, and period is max. Look, from a period perspective in yfinance, we got valid periods as 1D, 5D, which is 5-day, 1 month, 3 months, so on and so forth. There is a lot of these periods available. And now what we are saying is we want max period, whatever is available in Microsoft, let's get that. And the interval is, we are saying 1 month here. There's also a lot of intervals available. You could, use them. Right now we are using 1 month here. If I go back to this yfinance here, the intervals, we got a lot of intervals here. You could copy any of those here. So if I go here and look at intervals, let's see here. Look, from an interval perspective, we got a lot of valid intervals here, including, let's remove this here. We got valid intervals as 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, and so on and so forth here. So let's, use copy this here so it's in our code and go from there. So those are the valid intervals here, and you can also copy one more information here. Optional default is 1 day. We can use that also here. We just copy it over so it's in the code. All right, so we got that also here, and now we're getting the information about Microsoft. We are saying max period interval is 1 month. Action equal to false. Action is, if you want to get dividend information or stock split information, you can say action equal to true. By default, action is true. As an example, let's run this here and try to see what we get. All right, so I will comment this out here for now, and let's just get this and just print history. All right, let's run this here and go from there. Look, we did this here. We basically got history of Microsoft's, all the way maximum available history, and we have a monthly here. We got basically a monthly interval here, and now you see here we got here 1986. That's probably when Microsoft started trading. And we got here say April, May, June, we got June, July, all the way down here. We got rich set of information about Microsoft. If you're if you're a data scientist, or even if you want to do some analysis say over the weekend, this is a rich set of information here. You could do a couple more things here. You could just say, you want to know the what is history object. You could just comment this out here. You can say what the history object. You could just say type history here. Let's do one thing. Let's keep this here and create one more cell here, and let's try to understand what this history object all about. All right, so what I will do is I'll take this here and let's say type history. All right, let's just say type. So we're trying to find out, what type of variable is this history here. That's what we're trying to do here. I'll just put in a parenthesis so that way it's understood by Python here. All right, so look, it's a pandas core, pandas frame here. The moment it's a pandas frame, you could download this whole information into Excel spreadsheet. That's the benefit here. You could do more analysis the moment it's in Excel spreadsheet here. Look, we got maximum information here on a monthly basis. If you want to do some analysis, you could store this in Excel spreadsheet. And look, the data is big here. We can also do a describe here to see how many rows are there in this and go from there. Look, we got right here, we can describe. We are describing the history here. Look, we got 442 rows here. Because it's number of months here, it's not too many. It's easy to analyze. And you could also do more things here. You can look at what are the attributes in this. You could just say, let's increase one more here, create one more. And you can just describe this history object here and see what's in the history object. Look, we got here the dates, and we got 442 here, and we got open, high, low, and close. As you can see here, rich set of information. And if you like this data, you could save this into a spreadsheet just as easily like we talked about earlier. And we could just do that. Look, we got here Excel and CSV. I can copy one of these here, and let's go down right here. I'll create maybe one more cell right here, one more line here, and we can just actually here. All right, we can save this to Excel spreadsheet here. I can say, let's see my data frame name here. It's a history. And I can say Microsoft. All right, so we are saving this into Excel spreadsheet here. You could, do some analysis. The moment it's in Excel spreadsheet here, it did not like it. To Excel application Python, that's good. Let's go in here, history. All right, let's go in here and see a little more data df. It's a data set again, and we are basically saving it into Excel spreadsheet here. And let's do one thing. We'll history.describe. That's good, and we got all the information here. and it's to Excel. We are trying to write into Excel, as you can see here. And let's see here. Looks like Excel does not support date times, the time zones. Please ensure data times are in time zone is okay. Let's try CSV here, see if that works. Let's give that a shot. All right, look, we got the CSV here, and we can go back to our file here, and we got history.csv here, and we can open that and see the information that we're getting here. Look, we got rich set of information about Microsoft here. We got open, date, high, low, close, rich set of information, and you could do more analysis. Look, we got monthly data here. 86, March, April, May, so on and so forth here. And in this example, as you can see here, I just used the interval as a daily here, or actually monthly here. You could you don't need to worry about monthly. You could change it also. And for some of you, you might want to look at the actions like splits and dividends. You could just do here and just say actions equal to yes, and you could look at a few more things around actions and so on and so forth. I think we'll say instead of yes, it's a true. All right, so the moment to do this here, you will see if there's any dividend. Look, we got some dividend right here, and if there is any splits, you get that information also. All right, so that's about getting the historic stock information, and we'll do some more things here and go from there. Look, sometimes here, look, we got these multiple decimal places. You may not want multiple decimal places. Let's see how to just trim it down and go from there. All right, so what we'll do is now we'll get some more information here and change the decimal place. So to change the decimal place, it's very easy here. I could just do something like this here. Let's add one more cell here. All right, so what I'm saying is really I'm creating a new data frame here, and I'm saying round decimals equal to 3. So basically from the history data frame, I'm rounding it here, so that way I don't see huge decimal points here, instead just 3 decimal point. So I could just go here, and now I could create one more cell right here and print history right here and see if it worked. All right, let's print this out here. Look, now we got only 3 decimal points. It's not huge number of decimal points. And if you want to format volumes into millions, you could easily do it. Like we have seen earlier, you could just apply this formatting, just like we have seen here. You can round this volume to millions. It's easy to read if you have it that way. All right, so now we are done with the history here, and let's see what we can do. Sometimes folks ask me, hey, you know what, I got a huge list of stock tickers. Can I do some analysis on them and download some history? Of course you can do it. And look, you could search many times to get a S&P 500 symbols here. You could search on web, especially places like Wikipedia is a great source here. You could search and go from there. So what we'll do is we'll go here to Google and look at S&P 500 tickers here. All right, look, we got S&P 500 ticker list. All right, the moment typically in the Wikipedia is a good source for S&P 500 stock list here. All right, so we got a list here from Wikipedia. If we click on this here, look, we got all this list of stocks here. We can download the history for all these names here. So you can just copy this here and take it over our program here and get the information for all these stocks here. So what I will do is I will create one more cell right here, and let's just do that here. All right, so what we'll do is we'll get the information that we got so far here, and let's start copying it right here. And now what we're doing is we are getting the Wikipedia URL from the website from Wikipedia, and we are actually reading the list into this object here, spwikidf list, and we're looking at the length of this wiki list here. Let's just do those here, and then we'll go into that. So let's go in here. All right, I will run this code here, and nothing happened. We got count 2. That tells you if I go back to my Wikipedia here, look, we got this whole big table here, and we got some more information at the bottom. As you can see here, there is a bunch of information. So it's got 2 frames here. We don't want both frames. We want just one frame. So with that, let's go back here. The moment we know there are 2 frames here, we just want the first frame here. So what we'll do is we'll create a variable called spdf, which is a data frame, and let's get the first list here. We just want this S&P 500 table, not the other detail here. All right, we can run this here and go from there. So now we got this S&P 500 list here. So we can go back and print and see what's in there. So now we are printing this S&P 500 ticker list here. Look, we got this huge table here. We got 503 rows. So what we want is just the ticker symbol, not this whole bunch of data. So what we'll do is we'll just get the sticker symbols here. First, to do that, we'll basically get the just first symbol here. So what we'll do is we'll add one more column here, one more cell, and we'll introduce this variable sp ticker list. And I just want, look, we got symbol here. This is the column name, as you can see here. So I'm saying I want a list of symbol values, which means I just want these things in a list. So I'm basically saying, I want the list of symbol values. Let's quickly run this and go from there. I will just run this. All right, so we got our ticker list here. So what I will do is I will create one more cell here, and let's see what's in our SP ticker list. Let's display that. All right, look, we got our symbols here. We got all these symbols, as you can see here, 504 or so. That's a good amount of ticker list here. So now what we can do is we could just collapse this here and try to see how to make use of it. So, if you want to, get the information on all the stickers, no problem. It takes a while though. Let's do one thing. Let's create one more lid here. And let's try to get download the data for these stickers here. All right, so what I will do is I will just create one line here, and let's just go here. So look, we got here, and here sp ticker list is the variable. I will just add sp ticker list here. All right, so look, what we're doing here is we're downloading the data for S&P 500 stocks between 2022 January 1 and 2022 December 31st in a monthly interval. The reason I'm choosing monthly interval is we don't want to wait here for a long time. Instead, let's get it very quickly. That's why we chose the monthly interval here. All right, let's just get that here. Let's just click here. Look, it's taking a while here. It won't take too long because we have a monthly interval here, so the data is not too huge. It's basically 504 times 12, which is 12 months. so it's just yearly data, so that's why it's faster. All right, so we are done with the data here. We got all this sticker data into this df. Look, there are two errors, as you can see here. It says brk.b, no time zone. So Yahoo Finance, as many of you know here, for these symbols brkb, Yahoo Finance uses brk-b, and same story, they don't use dot. Instead, Yahoo Finance uses dash. That's why you don't see those two symbols here. You could go change, download this list and change this to brk-b and brk, bf-b. Then you'll get the information. All right, now what we'll do is we'll look at the information. Let's print what we got and go from there. All right, let me add one more row here and just say df. All right, look, we got this rich set of information here. We got the date, and we got all the sticker symbols, and we got adjusted close, and we got volume, and so on and so forth here. Rich set of information. You can do a lot of great analysis with this. And what we'll do is we'll again round some of these things here. We don't want we really want to round this off here, so let's do just that here, just like we saw earlier. I will add one more row here. Let's do some rounding here. So what we are doing is really we are just rounding it to two decimal points here, and we're also just getting the adjusted close. We have a lot of information here. Out of this here, we are just getting the adjusted close here and rounding all these decimal places into just two decimal places here. All right, let's just do that here, and that's done. And we can also print this data here, and we can just say sp data. All right, look, we got it's pretty manageable now. We got two decimal places and just the adjusted closing price, much easy to manage at this time here. And now what we'll do is, many folks want to do some research on this here. We'll try to save this into Excel spreadsheet. You could also do it into CSV, and you can do more analysis the moment you have it in Excel spreadsheet. All right, so we'll just go in here and save into Excel spreadsheet. Look right here, and we got here S&P 500 data, and we could also, when we're at it, we can also save it into a CSV file, so you could do some analysis either way. To do CSV, you can say to CSV here, and I will just say CSV here also. And here also I'll say Excel and CS, so these are Excel and CSV. I could just click on this, and now we got yfinance SP Excel, SP CS, and I could go into my folder here. Look, we got both of these here, 41 KB and 46 KB, not too huge here. We can open up this Excel here and see what shows up here. And look, we got this rich set of information here. You got all the stocks at the top, as you can see here, and then you got date right here, and you could do some good analysis with this information here. All right, so many of you might want to see differently. You can always do some transpose here. For example, you can say sp data dot t here to transpose. We can just do that right here. All right, so let's go here, and if you want to transpose it, you can just say dot t here. It will just do a transpose, and you can see that. Look, we got transposed data here. We got dates at the top here, symbols at the bottom. It's another way to look at this. All right, so now what we'll do is really we'll try to plot this data into a plot using matplotlib, which is a great tool. You can do some plotting and have some fun with it. All right, so let's do one thing here. To do plotting here, normally you like to import certain things here. Look, we are importing plotting here. It's a matplotlib. It's a library. If you don't have it, you can just do a pip install matplotlib. It's a great charting source here. And we look at one more charting source, which is Plotly, which is my favorite. All right, so we are done with importing here. We can just quickly run it, and now we'll go into a ticker list here. Look, we had a lot of tickers. It's hard to make sense out of it and chart them. Instead, we'll choose few tickers here. We are selecting SPY, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, and Lilly. Very small subset, as you can see here. All right, so I could just run that, and we got that. And now we can do one thing here. We can download this data here into an Excel spreadsheet, not Excel spreadsheet, into a data frame. All right, so let's do that. Let's do here. We are downloading the data for this ticker list here. Look, we got ticker list, 1 month period, starting from 2022, January 1, ending in 12/31. You could always change the dates, change the interval, and have fun with it as usual. So we'll run this. We got it. So it takes a while. That's why reduce the number of intervals here. It's done pretty quick here. And now what we'll do is we don't want any of the decimals here. Let's just get rid of the decimals here. Look, I'm just saying here adjusted close equal to DF, which is our data frame, and I'm basically rounding it to 2 decimal places. Pretty simple. And you could just print this out here, see how the DF looks like, or ADJ close look like. All right, so look, we got our information here, 2 decimal places, all cool. Now what we'll do is we'll try to plot this into a plot using Plotly. Sorry, not Plotly, using matplotlib, and go from there. All right, so we'll it's pretty simple here. We'll go with the simple method here, and plot it. All right, so it's very simple here, and look, we got adjusted close. We are plotting it, subplots equal to false, and we got our figure size here, how big you want the figure to be or chart to be, and we got labels here. X label is date, Y label is price. We could just run this here. And go from there. Look, we got our chart here, and look, we got our Apple, which is the color, which is blue color here, and we got all these symbols, as you can see here. And this is one chart, but many times it's easy to look at subplots here. You could say subplots equal to true, and we could look at the subplots. It's much easier on your eyes. So we could just run this here. Now we got subplots. Look, Apple going down, as you can see here toward the end. We got next one right here, AMD. Look, Lilly, which is a star, healthcare name here, going well. It's a great stock to invest. And we got other things. We got here Microsoft doing pretty okay, not great, and other stocks are not great, as you can see here. So this is how you get the charts from Plotly. You could either do inline, or you can do subplot equal to true, which means you get multiple plots, or you could say subplots equal to false, where you get one plot itself. I like this. I also love Plotly. Plotly is my favorite. You can do a lot of things about it. We'll just hardly scratch the surface today, but you could get more information about Plotly through maybe we can do some additional videos on this. But Plotly is a great one to research on, and also get some good information. So for plotting using Plotly here, we have to import few things here. We'll just do that as we can right here. Look, you got to import some libraries here, and we can say So we are importing the graph objects here as Go and Plotly Express as PX here. That should do it for us. We could just go here and there you go. And next, we already have our data frame that we have. So what we'll do is we'll get our data frame here, and we got our data frame. Let's get our data frame here, and I think we named it as CS. So I think let's go back here and double check here quickly, and we got yfinance spc spcs.csv here. That's what we're using here. So we got our data frame here. Let's just run this. All right, so we got that here, and we can see what's in our df here. We can just say df and see what's in df. Look, we got all this information here. We got the date and the stocks and so on and so forth here. Rich set of data here. All right, so now we'll go in here and look at a few stocks. We don't want all these stocks here. Instead, we want a few stocks. So we'll try to get few information about few stocks and go from there. So what we'll do is we'll basically go in here and create some objects here and get some information. I'll just quickly take some of the data here. All right, let's go in here and look. What we're doing here is we are leveraging go.figure. As you see here, we got Plotly graph objects as go for graph objects, and Plotly Express as px. We are leveraging it. We are basically creating a figure here, and we're adding Apple, Microsoft, Lilly, Adobe, SPY, which is S&P 500, and we are doing a plot here. As you can see here, width is 800, height is 400. So let's go and run this. As usual, we get some error. Let's see what's the error here. No data frame has no object SPY. So that's what's going on here. We don't have SPY in our object here. So for this here, we can remove SPY here and go from there. Let's remove SPY because it's a list of S&P 500 stocks. That's why there is no SPY in this. All right, let's go run here. Look, we got a nice chart here. This is one of the reasons I like Plotly here. Look, as you click on it here, look, we got Adobe. It tells you what it is, and look, we got the price here. We got 467 at this time on February 1st. That's why Plotly is more interactive. You could have fun with it. And right now we got a nice chart here. I could click on any of these. Look, we got here right now it's a Lilly doing well. Look, it's doing pretty well here. And we got other Apple here, trying to see where to go here. Probably it's a great time to slowly start buying some Apple at this time. Nice chart. This is why I love Plotly here, because you can get some nice information, very interactive. You could even save this in a website, and you could just click on it and get some more information. And you could also transform this into a candlestick chart pretty easily using Plotly. So hope this helps. This is a quick introduction to yfinance and Python in general, and how to do some great analysis. If you're interested in these type of videos, I could do one more for the folks who want to look at polygon.io, which is one of my favorite data sources and APIs to really do some to do some more additional research. So with that, I hope this helps. Thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.